I'm going to start this video with an absolute gorgeous scene, and then I'm going to start my rant. This is exactly why I just got me a Red Bull and vodka. I think I could use it today, the way today's been going. So, let me come over here and remind myself why I live out in the middle of nowhere. The phone does not do it justice. Alright, let's go ahead and see what these good old cell phones can do. That's crazy. You're literally holding a cell phone. You can zoom over there and see that. Pretty crazy. Sure, if it was a little more balanced, it would have been a little clearer. Let's go ahead and I think I'm going to name this video. I'm sure most of my Pizzos feel the same way. Why I despise government and their fucking bureaucracy bullshit. So let's just take something for example. Just a few quick ones I have here. That vehicle right over there, the very first one. My neighbors had somebody pass away, move down south. Very old gentleman. Nobody wanted it. And nobody in the family wants to deal with it. You know, the old timer, he's gone, living with relatives, passed away, something. Nobody cares. So, I have a vehicle that sits there. It starts, it runs. Actually blows cold AC, got good tires on it. Somebody right down here in Kentucky just said their car went sad. I could loan it to them. But because of the bureaucracy we live in, I can't get tags for it. You can't just go in there and explain to, hey, this is what happened. Neighbor, nobody gives a shit about the vehicle. Can I get it tagged and roll it? Nope, can't do that. So let's talk about more bureaucracy that I'm dealing with this fine fucking tyrannical government we have. How about this? Got the paperwork, the taxes paid, everything from GovPlanet. But I knew I was going to use it on a farm. I didn't go in there and get it titled or tagged. It's going to be just on a farm using. Well, now I really don't need it anymore, so I was going to sell it. But in order for me to get this title, I have to drive this thing back up to Ohio. I have to go in there. Somebody's got to inspect it. I got to get it titled just to turn around and sell it to somebody else. I can't just give the gentleman a bill of sale. Can't attach all the auction paperwork where it was bought and paid for, the SF-97, which is a document when you buy stuff from the government. So, hey, this is looks almost like a title, the SF-97. And just say, hey, you go ahead and get it titled, and voila. Oh, no. You got to do it. You got to title it first, and then turn around and sell it to somebody else. Just fucking bureaucracy after bureaucracy. And these government people, do they not realize why fucking people hate them now? I mean, that's just two, real quick. Have to do with vehicles. You got it there, it's free, it's clear, it's not stolen. Yeah, but no. Everybody is sick and fucking tired of the government. Every fucking thing they do in your life. I can damn sure tell you I am one of those people. You know, that's the start of my rant. I'm going to go ahead and it's just been one of those days today. Tell you what, if it wasn't for Jessica, which that's my big excavator, I probably would have got on this vodka and Red Bull a lot sooner. Just seems like everything today was not going good this morning. But I'm going to go for my little walk. I think I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I already got one clearly. Maybe do like 2 channels in one. Call one Political Walks. Just go for a nice 15-20 minute walk in the morning and talk about all of the bullshit that the government does. Like, for instance, how Trump lies to the people, literally, constantly, daily. How most people don't even know a lot of the stuff that he does. You have to watch all this independent media to find shit out. And you're like, oh my God, if the people knew that. But he has convinced people that if you ever study anything about World War II, which, by the way, Trump's wife said that he kept a copy of Mein Kampf on his nightstand. If you understand anything about that and propaganda, which I've studied greatly, they can tell you things. There's actually a term for this. I can't really remember it right now. But it's about how you repeat things over and over and over, and that becomes trigger words for the person that you're trying to propagate. And then once they hear that, it triggers hatred or defense and all that. And Hitler did it a lot of his speeches. Trump does it all the time. Fake news, fake news, fake news. And then when people hear anything that's truthful, he can just say fake news, and then they disregard it. All part of how to program the mind and propaganda. Many, many studies, hours and hours. You can find endless studies on YouTube if you want to learn about all that propaganda. It's very interesting, actually, to study. Very interesting. So, it comes down to that MK Ultra. There's about 150, 160 declassified programs under that. And if the people knew. I mean, just go ahead and... What the heck is that? That sounds big. Go ahead and... this might be mind-numbing for all you folks that think government is good. Go ahead and do Operation Northwood. Search that. That's what the Army Joint Chiefs of Staff and everybody blessed off on it. To literally do terrorist operations on our own people. Plane wrecks, terrorist activities. By the way, they all signed off on this to do. So then they could do false flag operations and convince the American people that we should go to war with Cuba. Guess who turned that operation down? Good old John F. Kennedy. Ended up dead shortly thereafter. So, hey, there's a squirrel. That's what that was. So, that's just one of thousands of programs that I think that the vast majority of people could understand. They'd probably all revolt and pop every politician out there in no time. But, hey, let's all pay our taxes and be good little fucking slaves. Now, let's go ahead and show what my plan was to come over here and get this thing rocking and rolling. And then, this is a breather. What is that right there? Yeah, right here. It's a little breather to let some pressure. It's got this little gasket in there. And they say that gasket gets hard and diaphragm, should I call it. Well, look where it is. It has literally got that beam right above it. So getting any of these screws unscrewed, I came over here, thought I'd just unscrew 6 little screws this morning, throw in that new diaphragm. Hell, even got, you know, yeah, you name it, I fucking tried it. So, well, I was super excited this morning because I sort of need that blade right there. I need that blade for my project I'm working on. And all this. I was super excited. I finally got that little swivel fixed on it. Started getting my mulching head that's right there. That red thing. Starting to clean up the land. Well, you win some, you lose some. So now I got a big army truck. I've had 3 buyers for it. 2 of them for 20 grand. Chris, this last gentleman, I said, hey, I already had some buyers for it. If you don't make me jump through hoops, I'll sell it to you for $17,500. But he wants the title. My cousin Ben ain't writing back. I need his help. So I'd love to trade that for a bulldozer. Anybody that's watching this video got a bulldozer that works, I'd love to have that. But, well, great old US of A. You know, there's a reason why they're calling all those cameras flock cameras, the ones that they're putting every city, everywhere. Seems like finally some boys in the UK got their fucking head on straight and they're going around and sawzalling them down and trying to fix it. I think Ireland's starting to get their shit together and start to chop these things down. But not America. They put fluoride in our water and feed us food. It ain't really food, it's poison. So most of Americans are fat, lazy pieces of shit that would rather fucking eat their Twinkies than fight tyranny. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to be cutting down any flock cameras anytime soon here in the good old US of A. Propaganda works fabulously. I think China's got like 500 data centers. We're on 2,000. Yeah, yeah, they're the bad guys. Sure. Yeah. Well, I know everybody's going to hate this. I'm sort of looking forward to seeing what comes out of this multipolar world order. Trump's going to keep crashing the dollar. I believe that's what he was put in place for. Literally tells you, like, oh yeah, let's devalue the dollar to make our trading worth more. Yeah, it does, but it fucks everybody else over. You know, they got cheap labor out of us. I know a lot of people don't know this. I've posted it on my Facebook. In 1970, wasn't forever ago, minimum wage, you could buy an ounce of silver. So let's put that into perspective. I think silver right now is $73. So let's just make it 70 for easy math. 2 hours would be 140. 280. 560. Somebody make a minimum wage, we get $560 a day. Now, we could take for the account that silver just went on one hell of a bull run. So we could even kick it down to $30, half of what it is, not even half. Just say it was 30. So if we were back in 1971, silver's $30 an ounce. Today, it's not really, it's 73. Say 30. That means 30, 60, 120, 240. Somebody at minimum wage could make $240 a day. And that's minimum wage. Let alone if you had a job that paid you double minimum wage, triple minimum wage. So if you don't understand devaluing of the dollar, that's just a very good example right there. And that's what their plan is. They're going to basically keep the Strait of Hormuz closed as long as possible. And by the way, all of the leaders of all of the countries all work together. Go to the Bohemian Club, the Illuminati, the Club of Rome, Committee of 300, you name it. Skull and Bones, Freemasons, we could go on forever. They're all part of one of these clubs or another. They all work together. So this shit is going to destroy the wealth of people all around the world. You just wait. So this whole, we got a peace deal, I just laugh. People actually believe that shit. No, this is going to be going on months and months and months. And then I'm told by some folks that I'm just Mr. Negative. Maybe I just study. Maybe I just research. Maybe I can just sort of see through the facade of what do they call everybody? The flock cameras. What the flock sees. But since I sort of see what's coming, I'm debating go ahead and throw me another pallet of solar panels in my shipping container. Since people here in Kentucky, I actually just seen a video today about Ohio actually are starting to get their electric bills doubled and tripled. Starting to bump up quite a bit in some areas. So it's just a matter of time. I calculated my solar. It's going to take me 9 years to recoup all of it. Well, every time somebody's electric price goes up, every time they keep bumping up these pay hikes. Well, that 9 years becomes 7 years. That 7 years becomes 5 years. So I paid for mine in advance. So, but I am thinking to go ahead and double it up, get me everything I need again, throw it in a shipping container, because who fucking knows what our electric bill is going to be in 10 years. So, I know solar panels, we have about 3/4 of an ounce of silver in them. So, well, an ounce of silver just doubled in the last 9 months. So I'm sure that means solar panels are probably going to double in price. And since we got a president, don't let anything come from China for cheap. And literally, our businessmen, our politicians sold us out, moved all of the manufacturing over to China. And now that the world has become connected, or we can just order it straight from the Chinese factories, cut out the middleman. Well, now all of a sudden China's the enemy. So, personally, I'd like to get solar panels for about 1/4 the price without all the tariffs coming in. Actually found me an engine block for that little excavator for $1,000. Of course, that was in China. So in America, it's about $4,000. So, sure, I'm the bad guy. I think trading should be open and we should have free markets with the world. But probably doesn't help America too much since we don't make shit anymore. Thanks to our politicians. Ross Perot. Most of you young bucks won't remember Ross Perot. Anybody remember Ross Perot? For all you boomers and Gen X's out there, he said this would happen. He said when NAFTA went in, he said all of our businesses will be sucked overseas, and that's what happened. So, by the way, for all of you that don't know, it's sort of coming out, there's a bill. Of course, it's buried on page 892. I just threw that number out. I don't know what page it's on. But it's always buried in one of these other bills. It's going to allow the American military to sort of fuse with the Israeli military. So, since I like doing all my research and trying to debunk stuff before I share it, it's not quite as the doomers are posting, but basically just links in all of our intel agencies and all of our advanced tech. Now we have to share it with them. And now instead of every year, which would make it more transparent to the American people and to the politicians, where we have to vote on this every year, now it's just locked in forever. It says, quote, I think AI said damn near verbatim, that it will make it very difficult for a future president to dismantle. So, as people are waking up to the T word that they are, and as most Americans are sort of realizing that our greatest allies might not be our greatest allies. You know, really, they don't do anything from us except steal. It helps the politicians, for sure. They get those dual passports. So, as Medicaid, Medicare is getting taken from the poor, well, they don't really care. They just jump on a plane, go over there to their second home, and get the best medical care free, because America pays for that. So they like that free health care and free education over there. Get you a second passport to our greatest ally, and you can get all that too. Anyway, this is what I managed to do after this morning. Old Jessica came in here. I'm going to rip more of this out. Get away from the politics. Not I made it down here. But if I could have a dozer come around, I think I'm going to try to make these multiple staircase, like big flat spaces go up, flat spaces go up. Maybe use it for the peach trees, the apple trees. Leslie's right. It's pretty far from the house, so more than likely the animals will get them if we use this for gardening. So who knows, I might just leave it a hill unless I come up with a better idea. But anyway, go up and down and around. Can widen this up a little bit. This is shale. I call it fake rock because it ends up turning into gravel. in those big things. In a month or two, come over here and be little gravel pieces. So I've been trying to find one of these. The pond up here, I think, is what I was going to use for it. But my driveway clearly needs some attention. So I figure, see, this is like as flat as I can get it. It might look flat in this. It's relatively flat. But if I had a big dozer and come in here, like that over here is probably 3 feet lower than this middle hump. I'd like to have it just all level. But, you know, trying to do grading work with a 50-ton excavator. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I guess for what it is I'm doing and what I'm getting accomplished without a dozer or a skid steer. As you can see, Miles a little frustrated. He's really wanting my little blade. Although I do overwork that because it's not really a dozer. But see, that's going downhill. That needs to come up about 10 feet since the sun's blazing. I'm walking down here. I didn't realize, this is extremely high. I mean, yeah, you could put a shipping container on its end down there and have it up. That's at least 40 feet down. And I actually thought I wasn't going to have enough dirt. And then once I started ripping in, now I don't know what to do with all the dirt over there. So I'm starting to throw it into the pond. So if I have to drive back over here, pick all that stuff and throw it over that edge. But we are coming along. So this is, I can officially walk across this now. And I would say, I don't know, 10 feet down to the water. Maybe 12. So definitely need to build this up. Like if you look straight across right here, it's probably eye level over there. So I still got to come up at least 6 feet. But I got all that hill to rip out. So I got plenty of dirt. Because the goal is just to come right around here, go forward, connect these, and then dig out the middle. And that's what I was doing all morning. A few hours. So I'll tell you what. If that thing had a thumb. If there's anybody that sees this video and knows how to add one, knows how to put shims in the bucket, make it tight again, you know, I'd definitely throw a few thousand at getting a thumb on that thing. Moving stuff out of the way is just, that's why I want my little one. I can just back that big one up, come over there, grab all that stuff. You know, just trying to get these trees out of the way is just challenging to say the least. And due to this great, I think the Iranians said we're no longer talking to the U.S. I think as of yesterday. Like it's just all lies and bullshit. How can we have a peace deal when you're bombing the shit out of Lebanon, which we're not. Our greatest allies are, but that was part of their ceasefire. So they're like, clearly, you guys never do what you say, so we're done talking. Now I sort of laugh at it because, like we talked about earlier, that's all by design. They can do everything they can to bankrupt the people around the world before they bring in this new beast system, but that's a whole different conversation. Yeah, 0.6 here. So, stuff like that. Just grabbing that. If I could just pick it up and throw it over there, you know, I could push all this stuff down, keep ripping into there, but I didn't want to because, like that tree, you know, push it over, no problem, but getting it up and out of there and clearing it is it's doable. But it's time consuming. And since gas now is, well, I think we're up to 520. 520. Oh, anyway, so down there, as you can see, maybe. Oh, excuse me. We are at shale all through here. It's sort of what made me decide to how far back I was going to go, because it's just right here at the top, you know, shale, and then down there in the bottom. So eventually what I would like to be able to do is just pull down in here with the big excavator, reach down in there and scoop out a few things of gravel basically out of the bottom and use on my driveway. There's a guy that builds, he says that, you can probably Google shipping container castle. There's this young man in New York. Dude, what a freaking worker this man was. Reminds me of me back when I was young. Just, you name it, he'd just get on it, get it done. And he's built himself up one hell of an operation. He's been on his channel in a few years and jumped on there. Wow. Good for him, man. He's a hard-working dude. And probably deserves everything that he's got. But that's what he did. He dug a big hole on his property, and that's where he would just go get gravel. He'd just go dig it up out of there. So, damn, 26 minutes. That was a long walk. Well, to be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to fire this back up. Might just walk back, start a fire by the lake, call it a day. Wow. I don't even think I took a drink out of that the whole walk. Wow. There was 3 big trees here. 1, 2. One of them I got out already. I guess it left some of itself over there in that tree. Well, shit. My wife says I'm always talking about, hey, I'm going to get off, and I never do. So that's it. Peace out. I'll figure something out.